you're anything like me, you have been getting absolutely bagged by cover three match online. And I have to admit, I first was skeptical. I'm a cover two man loyalist, but I've been converted. Cover three match is the current meta in terms of the best defense in the game. And I want to show you guys how to use it so you can start locking in and locking down your opponents. The first section of this video, I'm going to be breaking down a few images and teaching you guys some cover three concepts. The second phase of this video, I'll show you guys some practice footage of me actually running cover three man. And then finally, if I can find some gameplay clips, I will put in some gameplay clips of me using cover three match against my opponents. All right, so first things first, in order to run cover three match the right way, you need to know how to count off receivers. And so this is how you do it, what you're seeing on screen, this diagram. What you do, you start from the left side and you count inward. This is not just like a concept that I've made up, by the way. This is how it's actually done in the NFL. So this is a real football concept, but you start from the outside. So the outside most wide receiving threat is the number one. The inside, the next person inside would be number 2. And then if there was someone here, they would be number 3, but there's no one there, right? And so the quarterback, and maybe I should have said this first, he's sort of like the line of demarcation here. So you're counting one side of the field with the quarterback being the sort of border there, right? So everyone to the left is counted from the outside in, and then everyone from the right side is counted outside in. So if we then start over on the right side, you have number 1 receiver. The number 2 would then be this tight end, right? Because he's the next inside, he's the next closest wide receiver to the number 1. And then you have this running back as number 3. Okay. And so that's how you count off wide receivers. Why is that important? Well, that is important because that is going to determine how your defenders are going to match who's on the field. And if you don't understand what match coverage is best described as delayed man coverage. Your defenders are going to watch how the wide receiving threats run their routes, and they're going to match onto them accordingly. And so this is how cover 3 match works. The cornerback is going to match number 1 on both sides. So you have your corner, he's going to match number 1. You have your corner, he's going to match number 1. Okay? Your nickel, which is right here and right here, they're going to match number 2. So you can see they're matching number 2 there. This nickel, he's matching the tight end. So the nickel is going to match number 2. Okay? Then you have the number 3, which is the running back in this example. The division of who is going to take the running back depends on where the running back goes. Okay, so that's why I have the pink line to the running back. Say the running back runs to the flat, to the outside this way, to the right. This linebacker is going to follow him to the flat. If the running back runs this way, to the left, then it becomes his responsibility to follow him to the left side of the field. It's important to know this because you are going to be using one of these two linebackers or safeties. If you sub in a safety or whoever you do here, you're going to be using one of these 2 guys. And so you're going to be counting off the wide receivers pre-snap. You're going to say, okay, I have the running back depending on where he goes. If the running back goes this way, then you're free to help out on something. So you can go help out on number 1 here, or you can go help out on number 2. You can go help out on number 1. You can play low and just play quarterback spy. You can add to the rush and add a 5th rusher. You can drop back. you're free to do whatever you want if he goes to the right. If he goes to the left, you're going to man him up, and then this defender will be free, and he's going to go maybe help out on number 2, or he's going to go do whatever. Okay. Then obviously you have a safety over the top who's just playing deep to try to prevent anything downfield. Okay. Let's look at another example. So in this example, this cover 3 match example, we're going to count off. So this is the number 1. And as we said, the corner is always going to take number 1. In this example, the number 2, there's no other receiving threat except for the running back. And in labbing this play, from my experience, the nickel here does not help out on the running back. The running back is up to the linebackers or whomever you have playing those hooks, right? So the nickel is going to help out on number 1. Your responsibility is the running back, as I said before. Okay. Now, we have 3 wide receiving threats on this side of the field. You have the corner, he matches number 1. The nickel, he's going to match number 2. You have the other hook curl. This is hook curl 1. This is hook curl 2. He's going to take number 3. Now, in the previous example, let me see if I can go back. Okay, so in the previous example, the hook curl was taking the running back. But in this example, because there's 3 wide receivers to this side of the field, we need that hook curl to pick him up. So the running back would be on you, assuming you're using this guy right here. One thing that I've noticed is that, and the reason why there's 2 lines between the safety here, and this 3rd wide receiving threat, we all know trips formations is one of the more popular metas when playing online in this game. I've noticed that this hook curl, I always use her this side of the field for whatever reason, and maybe you like to use her this side, but say you're not using this hook curl and it's manning up number 3. I've noticed that it doesn't do a great job of manning up number 3. And so what I'll do is manually man up the safety onto number 3 just to add extra help. What I've noticed is that it'll just, and maybe it's because trips sort of breaks match coverage a little bit, at least cover 3 match. And so adding that extra help just helps take away this route, takes away this receiver, because if you don't man him up with the safety, he runs free a lot of times. Okay, so what you're doing pre-snap, you are taking a look at the field and you're saying, okay, I know the corner's taking number 1. The nickel's not going to help with the running back, so he's going to bracket over here. So I'm taking the running back. We got the corner taking number 1, the nickel taking number 2. Man him up. Anytime you see trips to one side of the field, just man up your safety on the inside most, and then you go play coverage. All right, so let's look at this final example here. So this one's pretty easy to count off the wide receivers. So pre-snap, the way you would read this: corner takes number 1, nickel takes number 2 on the left side, and it's the same thing on the other. Corner takes number 1, nickel takes number 2. The only question in this example is the running back, right? Because he's in a neutral position directly behind the quarterback. So he's not number 3 on either side of the field. So you would play this quite easily, assuming, let's say you're using this position. You're taking the running back if the running back runs to the left. All right, then it's your responsibility to man up. If he is not running to the left and he runs to the right, obviously this hook is going to take him. And then that leaves you free to help out on number 2. You can go help out on number 1. You can QB spy. You can add in on the rush. You're free to do whatever you want. Okay, and that applies to this hook curl as well. Like if he ran to the left, then he's free to do whatever he wants. And so this is important to know. All of this information is important to know because where people get into trouble is that they run match coverage and they don't understand their responsibility, right? They will say you're using this guy right here and number 2 runs a post, they'll go help out on the post. But their responsibility was to take the running back, and then the running back is free in the flat for an easy 10 to 15 yards. Right? That's why people mess up on cover 3 because they don't understand that there is logic built into the game where defenders are matching off to wide receivers. And you as a user, it is your responsibility to know what your responsibility is so that you can be a value on the field and just not running off and just guarding some random route that you decided to pick up because you don't really know what's going on. Okay, say he runs a post and the running back runs to the right side of the field, then you're free to go, drop back and help on the post if you want. I mean, you have the safety over the top that's going to help out on that post, but you would be free to do that. You're free to do whatever you want if he runs to the right side of the field. But if he runs to the left, he is your responsibility. And I've seen people mess this up a lot of times because they don't know what their responsibility is. Okay, so that is how you count off your wide receivers and understand what your responsibilities are. Remember, you count from the left in, from the right in, based on which side of the field. The outermost is always number 1. The next inside is number 2. The running back is number 3. Okay. The hook curls are reading the running back to see who's picking him up. So like say he runs like an inside zone. Like he runs in, they fake a handoff, and he keeps running this way. Well, he started out as number 3 on this side, but he turns into number 3 after the snap. Your responsibility to pick him up. So you're just reading the running back. Okay, trust that everyone else is going to do their job. Read the running back and take the running back. If the running back is not your responsibility, go find something to help out on. Okay, so now let's get into practice footage of me running cover 3 against the computer. Okay, now that you have an understanding of how to count off the receivers, I am going to let the computer hike the ball, and I'm going to play cover 3 match, and then I'm going to go into replays and just sort of break down my thinking and why I played it the way that I played it. I am the hook curl right here. And on this play, I can tell you right away, from my experience, anytime you have 4 receiving options to one side of the field, match coverage breaks. And that's what we're seeing here. I'm going to let them hike the ball, but we'll just see what happens. Oh, I actually could have probably picked that. I tried to. Okay, so in game, they have 4 receiving options, right? We got 1, 2, 3. We got the trips wide receivers. Then we got the running back on the same side. So that's 4 wide receiving options. We know that this is a match. This is a pair here, the corner. We have the nickel on this inside or the middle trips. And then we have this hook curl over the inside most trips, right? So then that leaves the question, who is responsible for the running back on the same side of the field? And that's why I say if there's 4 wide receiving options to one side of the field, match coverage sort of breaks a little bit. And I would actually, I would probably just go into cover 2 man in this scenario, audible out. But we hike it, and we can see here. So this sort of just like breaks, like no one matches this wide receiver, and he streaks across the field, and I pick him up, and I could have almost had a pick there just because, I played that pretty well. But Yeah, you can see it sort of broke there. Like he got loose, and it was what it was. So I guess the moral of the story here is if there's four wide receiving options to one side of the field, I audible to cover two man. You know, you can do what you want to do, but that's what I do. All right, so this is doable here. You can sort of count off your receivers. You can see we got the corner on the left side. He's going to take number 7, number 18, the nickel with the C over top of him. He's going to match there. I'm right here. I'm going to match the running back if the running back breaks left. If the running back breaks right, I'm going to let my hook curl take him, and then I'll help on anything else. Boom, played perfectly. So let's take a look at the replay, and let's go, so this gets matched. Number 1 gets matched by the corner, like I said. The nickel here, he matches number 2. So he's matched. Like I said, I'll take the running back, who's number 3 in this scenario, because so I'm just sort of being patient, and I'm waiting to see what the running back does. I'm waiting, I'm waiting, I'm waiting. Okay, boom, he's going left. I'm going to go left with him. That's now my responsibility to match that running back to the left. There are 2 receiving options to this side of the field. So you got number 1, literally number 1, and the number 1 receiver on this side. He's matched by the corner. So they played that perfectly. And then you got number 84 here, who is the tight end. Now the tight end will get matched by this nickel here on this side if he was to run a route. Oh, and he did. He ran a delayed route. So this nickel, he played it patiently. He waited on him, and boom, he played a delayed route. And so that leaves this hook curl free. He has nothing to do. So he's just going to help out on something. You see that? He's just going to help out. And so it looks like this wide receiver was breaking free. Another, damn, that rub route right there. That rub route gets him wide open, and that hook curl was going to help on that. And so that's how the match logic worked there. So match is actually pretty easy once you understand how everyone is going to match up. So you can take a look here and kind of tell, okay, my responsibility again is going to be the running back if he breaks left. So if the running back breaks left, I'll take him. If the running back breaks to the right, I'll allow my other hook curl to support, and then I'll just find something to help out on. Boom. All right, let's break that down. So let's just start on the outside. Again, I'm just going to keep going over this because I feel like that's the best way to just kind of like drill it. The corner matches number 1. The nickel matches number 2. He did a great job playing that whip route. He matched number 2. Me, knowing, pre-snap what my responsibility is, my pre-snap read is this running back if the running back breaks to the left. So I'm just being patient. I see the running back takes it to the right. I'm not going to follow him to the right because I know I have this hook curl that's going to pick him up. And like I said, the hook curls are essentially dividing responsibilities on the running back based on which direction the running back goes. So because he went to the other side, I allowed my hook curl to pick him up, which he did. He played that perfectly. So he picked him up. Because of that, that frees me up. I don't have anything because the other two, number 1 and number 2 on the left side are matched. And so I'm free to help on something. So I just kind of play the middle of the field. I'm just waiting, and I see this breaking across. So I just decide to bracket that guy breaking across, the tight end there. And on this side, of course, that's a match. Number 84, he's matched by this nickel. And this is what I end up helping out on. Boom. He would have been open if this hook curl, if number 0 there didn't get in the way of this drag, that tight end would have been open. But yeah. So you kind of see how that works, right? How that works. So look, so this is In this situation, you got 4 wide receiving options to one side of the field. You see that? You got the 3 wide receivers. You have that running back. I'm not going to play cover 3 match against that. I'm going to audible to a cover 2. I'm just going to audible to cover 2. And then in cover 2, I just play D-line on cover 2. I just find it's easier, and boom. Okay. All right, so this looks like something that we can user a linebacker on. So count off your receivers. The corners are going to take the number 1s. The nickel on the right side, he's going to take number 18. On the left side, remember, the nickel does not help with the running back. So that nickel on the left side is going to help out on number 7. The running back is the responsibility of the 2 hook curls. If the running back goes to the left, I'm going to take him. If the running back goes to the right, the other hook curl is going to take him. Oh, and we can't forget number 84. That is the tight end, the offset tight end there. Okay. So we got to keep an eye on him as well. My hook curl might take that tight end. And if so, then the running back will be my responsibility, even if he runs to the right side of the field. So it depends on what that tight end is going to do. All right, we played that very well. Let's go in, let's break it down. Like I said, watch. See, I told you, the nickel is going to help out on number 1. So number 1 is bagged. Myself, I'm the hook curl. I'm watching the running back. What? All right, so I'm watching the running back. You can see my icon, being patient. All right, he's running to the left, so I'm going to take that away. Boom. The tight end, what did the tight end do? All right, it was like a delayed, looks like a delayed route to the flat. And so that hook curl, he did match that late. The hook curl looks like, there we go. The hook curl helped out on number 2, but then in seeing that the tight end released from his block, he matched that very well. So he played that perfectly. So he matched number 3, and then you can see the nickel matches number 2 there. Did he complete that pass? Wow, what a catch. The nickel matched number 2, and then the corner matched number 1. Let's do another one. All right, so we got, so you can count this off. What would your responsibility be? If you're this hook curl, what's your responsibility? All right, so let's watch the replay on that. I didn't do a good job of using that one. I'm sure you saw it, but obviously number 1 matches the corner. The nickel match number 2. And then number 3, that would be the responsibility of the hook curl. And I did a terrible job of using this route. I just sort of just let him cook me on this drag. But that ended up being okay, and I'll tell you why. Because, so we have 2 wide receiving options on this side of the field. Number 1 would be the tight end, and 2 would be the running back. Okay, so the corner would match the tight end. See? The corner, why did he play it like that? That's insane. All right, I don't know why he played it that way. So the corner matched the tight end, and then you have the nickel right here. Okay, now the nickels don't help on running backs for whatever reason. So I would think this hook curl was supposed to pick up the running back, but the running back stayed in to block. So he sort of was supposed to help out on something. So honestly, he should have helped out on this drag that broke free. This other hook curl should have helped on this drag, but he ended up going vertical. And the reason why he did that, he actually did play that correctly when I think about that, because he's going to prioritize the route that is the biggest threat to a touchdown, and that's the streak. And he's open. If he was bagged better by this corner, he wouldn't have chased this vertical route. He would have matched on to this drag. So we sort of were like giving up the drag there. And then of course we did have that there to help out. So that would have been a 5 or however many yards completion. But all right, anyway, take a look at this one here. Sort of count off the receivers. What would your responsibility be if you're this hook curl? What is your responsibility? It's a good run. Played it well. It's a good run. So what I would do in this situation if I was online and I was playing with someone that scrambled a lot, I would QB spy one of my edges. Um, yeah, I would just QB spy one of my edges. So just keep that in mind, I guess. I'm not going to do that in practice mode, but if you have someone that keeps scrambling out of the pocket when you guys are playing perfect coverage like we're doing here, just spy one of your edges and that will take that away. But all right, take a look here. He matched that, but he didn't play it the greatest. So that's a match. The nickel, he's going to match the number 2. Now this was me, this was the hook curl. So without a number 3 on my side of the field, I'm going to look to see what the running back is going to do. And he went to the other side of the field. So my responsibility is to help out on anything that breaks free on this side, and that was the drag. And so you can see I pick up the drag. See that? So we play that perfectly. The drag is bracketed. And like I explained earlier, the division of labor on the running back is going to be up to the hook curls. And you can see this hook curl, that running back breaks towards the flat, that hook curl matches him and picks him up. So if you're likely going to be using a hook curl, just remember you are dividing up the responsibilities of the running back. And if you're not the one picking up the running back, just help out on something. Okay? And then of course, so then we got the tight end, number 84. He's going to get matched by this nickel here. And then number 1 on the outside gets matched by the corner. Okay? So I think that's enough. Like I think that gives you guys everything you need to know on how to play cover 3 match. You don't want to shade down, you don't want to shade up, or you don't want to do anything like that because that breaks the match logic that's programmed into the game. So you just want to call the play and let it run. And now that you have an understanding of match logic for cover 3 match, you can play it the right way. Let's do this one final play, and then I'll end the video. So take a look at the field here. If you were using this hook curl, what would your responsibility be? Well, what did I say before, right? So starting on the left side, we know the corner is going to match number 7. That nickel, he is not going to help with the running back. He is going to help out on number 7. So the running back is a division of labor between the 2 hook curls. If the running back goes to the left, I'm going to pick him up. If he goes to the right, I'll let the other hook curl pick him up. Starting on the right side, we know that number 1 will be manned up by the corner. That nickel is going to man up number 18. And that tight end is going to get picked up by the hook curl. Okay? Let's hike the ball. There you have it. Now we get a pick out of it. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how you play cover 3 match.